Well, it is Arsenal against Everton, or the other way round, if you want to say that, because it is actually being played at Goodison Park. Arteta is the new manager of Arsenal, but he is not on the dress. He's not actually on the touchline today, so it's not really his official first game in charge. I wonder if he's ducking that game on purpose. Not too sure, but we'll go through the lineups in a minute, but the game is just about to kick off. Massive weekend of football. Also, we'll be doing a lot of, I love it around Goodison Park there, all the old terraced housing, old football ground as well. But we'll also be doing Man City versus Leicester later on as well at 5:30 kickoff. This game's about to kick off the last weekend before before Christmas. Lineups are Pickford, Sidibe, Holgate, Mina, Digne, Davies, Delph, Iwobi, Sigurdsson, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. So slightly stronger than the team that played against United, to be fair, because Sigurdsson wasn't in that, and I thought Digne might be out injured. Arsenal have lined up with Leno, Maitland-Niles, Chambers, David Luiz, Saka, Xhaka, Torreira, Nelson, Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Aubameyang. Lacazette's on the bench, Pepe's on the bench, Ozil. I don't even know if is Ozil injured. Anybody? Does anybody know what's happening with Ozil? I don't know. I think Arsenal might lose as well. I'm going to agree with a lot of people there. I think Everton will win this. Very youthful Arsenal side. I do wonder, actually. And I don't know what you lot think about this, but I do wonder in relation to Arsenal. They are doing what United had done and got an ex-player in as manager to sort of and then they're going to play all the youth, and if you hide behind the youth and an ex-manager you can go a long way, and I just wonder if that's what they've done today, because I don't necessarily agree with dropping Pepe. I really don't. I think you're scapegoating someone there. Come on, you Gunners, show Mark how football should be played. Zayn Miassi is in the house. The timer is not, it's on, but I've just not turned it on. Sorry, let me just turn it on for you. The timer's wrong. Eek. The timer is wrong, that's why. We're actually coming up for 1 minute and 50. So let me just get that for you. We'll click a start on that. Arsenal just on the attack at the moment. And yes, the timer should now be right for you. It is. We've had a super sticker from Gold Peace Prosperity. A nice little cat. Or a pussy smiling. Or is it a fox? It could be a cat, it could be a fox. Check out in the live comments, I don't know. Pepe was a waste of money playing youth over Pepe, oh dear, says Dot. And Arsenal playing a high line, dangerous, says Yasser HS. Yeah, well, I think tactically it's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on Arsenal today. For those just joining us a little bit, I don't know what's going on with my stream here. This is bloody annoying. Really annoying, actually. Okay, it's sorted itself out now. He said we had 12 people watching, which is fine. Famous 12. But there's a chance for Everton to put a cross in here. Very sunny today, so it's going to get in Leno's eyes. But Leno has been very good for Everton of late, I've got to say. But opportunity to whip a cross in. Very youthful Everton side, as I've said. And it's going to be Digne on the corner here. I'm going for Everton to win. A terrible cross from Digne, and Arsenal have cleared that. So just a reminder, if anybody in the live comments knows anything about Ozil, I mean, Saka for me, Saka is playing at left back for Arsenal. He came on at the last weekend against Man City. I presume that Kolasinac and Kieran Tierney's obviously injured with the shoulder thing, so they're having to play what I think is a very good left winger at left back. Leno in goal, Maitland-Niles, Chambers, David Luiz, Saka, then Xhaka, Torreira and Nelson, and then Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Aubameyang. Very young side to go and play away at Goodison Park. It's either going to be genius or it's going to be stupidity. Arsenal, I mean, if Arteta goes and wins this game with a really good footballing performance, it could be the turning of a new page for Arsenal, because for me, Arsenal over the last 15 years are a team that goes away from home and bottles it, especially up north. So it's going to be intriguing to see if that can get eradicated in the very first game. Of course, Ancelotti is on the not on the bench yet. He's another man. So two new managers basically. Arsenal with Arteta, Ancelotti, Everton. Both of them in the stands today. Torreira's just fouled somebody there. So Digne's up Up, up. Please do share the video if you're watching. Get involved and also subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Arteta isn't managing today, says Charlie. I know. I've said that twice. I don't know what you're listening to there, but the Pants model is on the bench. Arteta has been appointed as manager, but he's not taken charge of the team today. But I don't think that this team picked today is a Lundberg team. Not at all. So, no, I don't think that. Everton on the attack here. Out wide we go to Iwobi, gets this former club. And I just think Everton will win this. I'll be surprised if they don't. How are you today, says Hawk said. I'm very good. Hope you all as well. Very, very busy, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure everybody feels the same. It's that build up to Christmas now and lots of things to do. But lots of football today. Lots of football today. Anybody know? Oh, Arsenal might get a shot off here. Good bit of great run. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky there from, I think it was that Nelson for Arsenal. Good running there by the 24. But couldn't get his shot off. Yeah, anybody know what's the story with Ozil then? Has he just been dropped because he's crap? Oh, Iwobi's pulling his hamstring there. He'll be out to prove something. Yeah, he's pulled his hamstring, Iwobi. Doesn't fancy it against his old club. Patrick Alictus says Iwobi to score against Arsenal. Well, he's up against his old club, isn't he? So, but he might be going off. He's touching his hamstring at the moment. But for the moment, he's on. The sun is hard to adjust to, even when you're watching it on TV. But a very inexperienced Arsenal team. No Pepe, no Lacazette, no Ozil, and injured and was acting like a clown last week, says Lud. Will you be doing a watch along for Spurs versus Chelsea, says Ryuk She. Probably. So definitely doing Man City versus Leicester at 5:30. Really looking forward to that one and this one. So a little bit of a break between these two games, and then tomorrow I'll be doing Watford United on the United stand, and then if it's possible, I've got to look at the timings. I will do Chelsea Spurs because I'm intrigued by that one. So 4 games across 2 channels we'll be doing watch alongs for. But Arsenal on the attack here with Aubameyang. And Sadipi is across and should deal with that quite a lot. A lot of people have been asking me about the Football Manager. I'm not doing it. It's very busy at the moment. There's so much going on. So I will do episode 2 at some point. But it gives everyone an opportunity to watch episode 1 and get into it, doesn't it? And Everton here on the attack. They found Calvert-Lewin down that right-hand side. And he's won a corner, which I think for Everton is what it's all about. What it's all about today. Ali Mirrors, you're asking the same question that I'm just not going to answer when there's 2 more episodes to come. So I'm not going to ruin what happens in Blood Brothers. All I will say is that the result the other night, fair play. You know, I hope people understand and see that's how you do take a defeat, humility. But the story is only halfway told. The United Stand story is the best story in Blood Brothers this year. So let me just say there's better things to come, and then there's a very controversial ending. So keep watching. Ozil has been on holiday with Pogba, both missing overpaid players, says Zane. Thanks for that, Zane. But seriously, is he injured? Another terrible cross from Everton there. You've got to be furious with that. 2 corners in this first 10 minutes for Digne, and he's not even beat the first man. I don't get this. I don't get this modern phenomenon in the footballing world. They're on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, and so many of them cannot beat the first man on a corner. It's a bloody football. It's not a bowling ball. Get some bloody height on it. They're crap. They're rubbish. It really irritates me, and it's not just a United thing. I mean, it just irritates me how professional footballers cannot beat the first man on a corner. It's awful. So yes, it's 1-0 at 0-0 at the moment. Let's not get excited. It's 0-0 at the moment, but I'm looking forward to this game. Arteta not in charge of the team, but I think he's had an influence on the team. This is not the team that Lundberg has been picking. He's not been going so youthful. But I presume, well, good running here by Richarlison into the box, but he's lost it. Arsenal on the attack now. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. So, Arsenal, still on the attack here. I tell you what, if you are an Arsenal fan though, whether you're Zayn or the Pratt in the Hat or Troops or whatever, you'd absolutely love. I think it's so important for them to get a bounce today. Like the pants model, Lundberg. I know it's not Arteta's first game, but it's Arteta's first game where everyone knows he's going to be in charge. Iwobi's coming off here, I think, hamstring injury. But it is a new start for Arsenal. And they sacked Emery, they got the pants model in for a bit, and they had the bounce of an egg. Like, these players need to start bouncing back. Will you not be watching Liverpool become champions of the world, says man like Rudolph? I don't even know when that's meant to be happening. It's a bit of a joke tournament, isn't it? The United Stand website takes me to the old site for some reason. Might want to look into this, Mark, AJK. Yeah, I think you've just got to go through the links on the when we tweet them out and bookmark the new page. There is an issue. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's to do with having to update your cache, but we're trying to sort that out. But if you go through the links, it's fine. What time are Liverpool kicking off today? Then I can have a look at that. I'm sure there's. I'm sure it will tell us in the fixtures. General football scores and fixtures. Yep. 5:30 Club World Cup against Flamengo. Yeah, I'd rather watch Leicester Man City. Thank you. I would much rather watch that. But you can't beat a bit of Christmas football. Wild shot there from Tosson. Some might say Tosser, but there you go. Rudy Cox says that who will play at number 10 for United tomorrow? I would play Fred at 10 and Matic next to McTominay. I know Matic can't run, but we need a win. And for me, Mata, Lingard and Andreas are not good enough at 10. I think Lingard will play. One of a few Man United fans I like. Keep up the videos, says Andrew. # you'll never walk alone. Well, look, everybody is welcome on here. So please do subscribe and share the video. That's the point of That's Football. Everybody's allowed and welcome to get involved. What am I saying on Ancelotti becoming manager, says Sarouge? It's interesting with Ancelotti because I think that I rate Ancelotti. I don't think he's going to be a massive success at Everton because I think Everton is a hard thing to do. Jens Borval says that according to Swedish pundits, this is a Lundberg 11. It's very different to his 11s he's been picking, though, isn't it? That's that's my only issue with that. But Arsenal are on the attack here. Good cross, and nobody can quite get onto it. But yeah, I mean, Ancelotti. I think if the timing had been right, I would have liked Ancelotti to take over from Sir Alex or even come in after Moyes. It just never worked out. He's a very, very good coach. Is he coming towards the end of his career? Probably. Do I think he'll be successful at Everton? No. I just think Everton's like, look at United and Arsenal struggling, and Chelsea and Spurs trying to get up there. It's virtually impossible for a club. Although Leicester have done it. Martinelli's gone down injured here. Not too sure what he's done, and because we can't see what he's done, it's probably quite a bad injury. But he is clutching his ankle. He's still down on the pitch, so I don't know why. The referee probably can't see him in the sun. Right over on the far side of the pitch. Don't think the referee could see him. Are you afraid that Zayn is obsessed with you and might try and track you down and have you, says Ethan Kelly. Not really. And do you think Williams will start tomorrow for Manchester United, says the best music playlist? Well, Brandon Williams is our left back. No, I don't think he will. This is not looking good for Martinelli. He does look quite injured here on his ankle. He sort of went down innocuously. There wasn't really a contact on his ankle. Oh, yes, there was. Yeah, he sort of got stood on. So it might be all right. It's when the worst injuries are when you don't really see what they've done. So I think he might be all right, to be fair. In relation to Arsenal, yeah, I mean, look, if this is a Freddie Ljungberg 11, you've got Guendouzi, who's been starting games. Willock's started some games. Pepe and Lacazette have started some games, and they're all on the bench, and no place for Ozil. So we still don't know what the situation is with Ozil. And I think, you know, what I would say about Arteta is that he can't get this Arsenal side to play like Manchester City very, very quickly. He just can't. It's just not going to happen. So, do I ultimately think Arteta will be a success at Arsenal? I've got no qualifications to say yes, he's definitely going to fail, but I think he will fail. I think Arsenal's job is harder than the United job, and the United job's virtually impossible. But I think United will spend more money than Arsenal because they make more money than Arsenal. So, and I think United's squad is better than Arsenal's. I think Arsenal have probably got the better youth, but I don't think they've got the better overall squad. So I think that Arteta will look. Are Arsenal fans in a position to be patient with a manager? We've seen at United that, you know, even with a legend like Ollie, there are fans that won't be that patient because they're not too sure about what the vision is, and we've had 6 years of this nonsense. So Arsenal, a lot will come down to the fans and the players, but ultimately, as a manager, you're judged on results, and it might not be his. I mean, was it Emery's fault? I don't necessarily think it was. I think that just the playing squad is just not good enough. But there's a chance here for Everton, blocked by Saka on the back post from Richarlison. Nearly got the volley off. Oh, just to tell you as well, I've got a really exciting series I'm going to be doing over the new year and into the new year. I've got to tell you what it is, haven't I? So it's to do with Football Manager, and basically there'll be short videos, but it's basically sort of generating scenarios. So one of my first videos I want to do is Marcus Rashford stays at Manchester United for 10 years, and we'll just go through each season how successful United are, and how many goals he gets, etc. I also want to do a Messi at a Premier League club. He'll only get about 5 years, but just see how he does. Those sort of experiments. So hopefully people will quite enjoy them. They'll be a bit cultish, but you know, I'm looking forward to doing that. And I think it's the sort of content that would work well on this channel as well. But this game so far, 20 minutes in, quite equal. We are doing Man City Leicester later. Can't wait to see that. I mean, look, I don't think it's going to make any difference. Oh, you've got to go in the book there, David Luiz. He's got to book him. Why would you not book him? Why would you not book him? Richarlison skips past him. He chops him down. Why is he not going to give him a yellow card? That is ridiculous. Richarlison's running through, skips past David Luiz, who chops him down. It's a blatant yellow, and I don't think he's going to book him. No booking. Ridiculous. He's got away with that, David. Has everyone broke up for the holidays, by the way? Not everybody will have done. One of my, in fact, my best man at the wedding, he's not breaking up until Christmas Eve, but then he's off into the new year. Some people break off early, some people don't. Some people have longer off, some people don't. I always used to like going into work Christmas Eve, actually, before I had kids. And I always used to like going into work between Christmas and New Year because loads of people are off and you can do sod all. Oh, what a shot, and it was nearly a goal. It's one of those ones where it's gone to the post that you can't see and you're just waiting to see if the net ripples. It's Sigurdsson, and it's not that close, actually. He's hit it well, but he's a good, I'd say, 2 metres wide of the post, and Leno actually pulls his arm out the way at the end. But it looked good for the cameras. It's 0-0, obviously. That's why the scoreline says 0-0. But fairly equal, although I think Everton are dominating it physically and us probably slightly on top. Young side Arsenal, of course. Nice little ball out there from the right back for Arsenal, but it ends up back at Everton's Pickford. Yesterday was my last day, says Davian Frances. Luis must be the worst signing of the season, says Shalandra Ray. Remember, if you want to make a super chat, you can do that through the $ at the bottom. Appreciated your support, and make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. I don't know how we're doing for subscribers. 108,000 it says in the top right-hand corner. But do we have... page. Sorry, I'm just sending something about the website. Yeah, so 108,000 we're on. Yeah, that's what I was going to check, because it doesn't do the accurate number anymore. It only updates every 1,000. So United Stand is only 100 subscribers away from 600k. Actually, might do that today. 8 o'clock show on the United Stand as per usual. I got the Crabbies out. That's not an STD. It is actually a lovely ginger beer drink that I drink at Christmas. I love it. Mark Goldbridge, that's football. We're on 108,400 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. We might hit 109 today off both live streams, which would be great, because we are doing Man City versus Leicester as well. So please share, get involved in the community. Big plans for this channel in 2020. I think it's been a great year for this channel anyway. We passed 100,000 subscribers. I like to do the watch-alongs, obviously, for all sorts of games. We do like the Premier League preview. We talk about the big sort of football topics. Do a bit of Football Manager, a bit of FIFA. And obviously next summer we've got the Euros as well. So we'll be covering that on here. So big 2020. It's been a big 2019. Thanks to everyone getting involved. And please keep getting involved. And I really enjoy this channel. It's United Stand it's not a job. Supporting your club's not a job, but it's stressful. You know, you get really emotionally involved. I think in this, it's just the enjoyment of watching football and having a bit of a chat with all you lot. So thanks everyone who gets involved. You're really welcome, and thanks for helping us build another great community. But still 0-0 in this game after 20 minutes. As I say, fairly equal. I'd give it slightly to Everton on points if it was a boxing match, but slightly. I mean, Luis again with another foul there. Are they gonna book this plonker or not? I hope this game ends in a draw, says Jonathan Gallagher. I would like Everton to win. I would like Everton to win, to be honest. I don't think that makes any difference to the situation of my club. I mean, Everton must be miles behind United. An Everton win would put them on 22 points. We're on 25 points. An Arsenal win would put them level with United. So I'd like to see Arsenal losing, because what I don't want to see, and I know this is not the United stand, but I am a United fan. I don't want to see United go into Arsenal on New Year's Day with them having the opportunity to go above us in the league. That would be embarrassing. Keep the good work, bro, on all channels for you, says Callum Ackroyd. Thank you, Callum. And I hope people are enjoying the United Stand website. We only launched it a couple of days ago. Loads of visits, good articles, getting involved in that. We are looking for writers, probably more in the new year, but we have put up a few writers already. So if you want to get involved in that, just go to the website and drop us a message, and we'll get in touch. I met Mrs. Goldbridge in Ireland, Archie Lars. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm up for Everton having a bit of success. This coming from a Liverpool supporter, says Michael Dunn. Yeah, when you're comfortable and you know they're not going to get anywhere near you, it doesn't matter, does it? Who do I think will get relegated? Ali Marez. Well, who do you think is going to get relegated? Because it's not always about my opinion, and I feed off what you lot say. So, to me, I think the 3 clubs that will get relegated, and at the moment, I'm not too sure what the bottom 3 is. Is it still Watford, Southampton, and Norwich? It is. I think Norwich will go down. I wouldn't be surprised if Watford stay up, because a lot depends for Watford over the Christmas period. You know, you've got 4 Premier League games before New Year, which is amazing. You know, it's the 21st of December today, and on the 1st of January, which is just over 10 days ago, most people will have played 4 Premier League games in that time. So there's 12 points, which can change things around. Nigel Pearson was a decent coach at Leicester. He did really, really well. So I look at that Watford front 6, and it's decent. So if he can sort the defence out, which is what his main asset is, Watford could battle their way up, because they're only 6 points from safety. But They need to get something at United and over the Christmas period. Norwich, I just don't think are good enough. I think Norwich will go down. Southampton's problem is scoring goals. Pure and simple every time. Lightning seeds. That is their problem. Villa, I think Villa was always about finishing 17th, just one place above relegation. West Ham and Everton, I think, will be too good. Bournemouth will be too good. I think Brighton could get pulled into it. I still think Newcastle could get pulled into it. But Sheffield United, 25 points, 10 points clear from the relegation zone, and also 40 points is what you need to stay up. So I can't see them. To me, I think the teams that are in a relegation battle are Watford, Norwich, Southampton, Villa and Brighton, and maybe Newcastle. I can't see West Ham, Everton or Bournemouth or Burnley going down. I can't. Yeah, MC Games, I'm putting you in timeout because your comments have got absolutely zero relevance to a channel that's not the United Stand, and we're watching Everton versus Arsenal. So I'm not interested in what you've got to say, and if you keep saying it, you'll get blocked next time. So I appreciate you like that person who does the fan cam, but it's got no relevance to tonight, to what we're watching, and you're just spamming the live comments. So I want to interact with people who want to talk about general football, not about who should have a show here and there. Newcastle are safe, says Bob Paddock. And am I going to get a fresh Christmas trim, says Callum. I missed the boat. I've gone down with that Bruno Fernandes boat. I've sunk. I was meant to go and do it on Tuesday, and then I was like, actually, it's short enough to get me through till the new year, because it is quite short at the side still. So I think I might get one in between New Year, because I'm on the kickoff with True Geordie on the 29th, in between Christmas and New Year. So I might have to get a fresh trim for that. Arsenal could get relegated, says 1-1. I don't think so. I think now they've made that change, I think they'll probably be alright, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, I think they'll be fine. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell sing and jingle bell ring. It's a free kick for Arsenal. And let's have a look how it goes. Whipping it in, it'll be Saka with his left foot. Has he got a wand of a left foot? Or actually, I think it's going to be Nelson and Pickford. And I thought David Luiz was going to get his head on it, but Pickford with a nice little... oh, that's a lovely ball to keep that in by Sigurdsson. And you have to run hard to stop that from going for a corner. And Leno. Mark, for me, what a loss Herrera has been. He literally pushed the opposition into their own half. We aren't playing our old formation without him, says Rashmi Sinner. There's an article on the United Stand website, actually. Look at that. United Stand. United Stand. United Stand. I love these bottoms. There's an article actually on the United Stand website at the moment about Angel Gomez leaving for Barcelona in January. And this irritates the life out of me, how bad United are at renewal of contracts. Ooh, bouncing about in the penalty box here with Everton. Can he get a shot off? Ooh, good last-ditch tackle there by Saka, to be fair. And Arsenal on the break now. Oh, didn't quite get it through. And Everton have won it back. I tell you what, if you've not seen that 888 Sport challenge that me and Rance did with Troops and DT, do check it out. It's on my Instagram feed, it's on my Twitter feed. I absolutely enjoyed it. Troops, we lost 5-4, spoiler alert, but we lost 5-4, right? But they won the penalty shootout. So this is amazing. How does this work in a competition, right? So we had a load of challenges around London. The first challenge was name the Arsenal 11 and United 11. So we had to name the United 11. They had to name the Arsenal 11 that beat United at Old Trafford in the 03-04 season. So the Invincibles. So our DT and Troops get to name the Invincibles. We get to name a team that was just weird. Like, it was weird. It had, like, Tim Howard in goal. It was one of the shittest United teams there's ever been. So, obviously, we were going to lose that. So, they had that in their favour. But then, they won that one, but the next challenge was a penalty shootout. So instead of us, how does a penalty shootout work? 4 or 5 penalties each, whatever. They won the first challenge, so that means you get a head start on the second challenge. They took 4 penalties before we could take our first penalty. I mean, that's just bloody ridiculous. Like, you win one challenge, the next challenge, you start again. But no. You've won the challenge 1, so have 4 penalties before we get to take one. It took them 7 penalties to score 4. We scored 4 in 4, but we lose because they got 4 first. Ridiculous. But I thoroughly enjoyed the day. I thoroughly enjoyed the day. It was a good laugh, and I think hopefully we're doing more of that in the new year. I certainly want to do a few more challenges anyway. Dan James or Martinelli, says Aaron Carey. I like Martinelli at Arsenal, I've got to say. And I like Dan James. I think they're be interesting to see how they both get on. I hope Dan James is going to have the better career, but I do like Martinelli as well. I think he's good. And apparently he was on the books of United, or he had a trial with United. But Arsenal had the chance to sign Ronaldo before we did, and they didn't. Getting a little bit scrappy this game at the moment, but I think Arsenal will be happy that it's 0-0. Thoughts on the City game later? Is the title over? Says Mr. Chat. So cool. So we are doing Man City versus Leicester, 5:30 today. That's the one I'm looking forward to more. This has been a cracking game. But we've got 3 watch-alongs for you this weekend. We will be doing Chelsea-Tottenham tomorrow as well. But Man City against Leicester. I think Man City are going to win. Aguero is back. So I think that Man City will win. In the context of the Premier League, you probably want Leicester to win because they're closer to Liverpool. They're 10 points behind them, and Man City are 14 points behind them. So you'd probably want Leicester to win. But I think that would be... That's why I'm so excited about it, because I think that would be a magnificent result for Leicester to go and win there. Rashmi Sinha says, are you worried about Arteta at all? As a United fan, I'm a bit worried, and I thought United stand had a good team. How did you lose 7-0 to the Prats? But watch the video, mate. I don't want to talk about Blood Brothers because I can't really say too much because there's still 2 more games to go. But if you watch the actual video, then you'd be aware of the story. It's a bit like Liverpool playing without Firmino, Salah and Mane. We were missing our front 3. Our captain got injured after the first 10 minutes, who's arguably our best player. Our keeper, who's brilliant, made a mistake. The referee was atrocious. They deserve to win, but there's definitely mitigating circumstances that will rectify themselves in the next 2 games. Thoughts on City game? Yeah, we've done that one. Thanks for that, Mr. Chatser. Cool. And make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And can I just please ask everyone, share the video. There's a share button underneath. You can share it on Twitter and Facebook. Really enjoying doing this channel. I think it's the best decision we've made in the last year to start doing this channel. And everybody is welcome on it. And I'm really enjoying how it's going. So do get involved and subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Heavy touch there by Calvert-Lewin, and he gives the free kick away. Do you think Pep will be sacked in 2020-21? Callum Ackroyd. I don't think Pep really... Well, actually, Man City don't mess about, so they could sack him. You make a good point, Callum. But I think Pep's likely to go before. I mean, what'll probably happen in the summer is Man City will get a load of money. And then it will be Liverpool versus Man City next year again. I can. 2 things are going to happen. Either Pep will go and Liverpool will dominate, or Pep will stay, get the money, and it will just be Liverpool and City every year, which, could have been one of the biggest rivalries the Premier League's ever had, because Arsenal United was a massive rivalry for many years, the best rivalry there's ever been in the late 90s. And but Liverpool Man City is probably going to be the big rivalry, but it just doesn't capture the nation's imagination the same as other rivals. Even Chelsea United was more interesting. Mourinho versus Sir Alex. This just doesn't. There's just something very bland about City. It's not Liverpool's fault. I think Liverpool are about to win their first title in 30 years, and their fans are going to love that. And I don't say fair play because they're our biggest rivals, but technically fair play to them. You've waited a long time. You've built a good team to be proud of. But I'm sure Liverpool, if this title race was against a Mourinho side or a United side, it would get, or an Arsenal side, it would get a hell of a lot more traction and excitement. Man City are just, Even United, when we used to go against Man City, it's just not the same as going up against a Liverpool or an Arsenal. They're just soulless because they bought it all, and it's going to take them a long time. Oil money, that's why, says JT Music. I do actually feel sorry for City because I think they don't even understand it themselves. Pep gets very frustrated by it, but it literally is. You're just not a football club in the sense of all the other top clubs. I think, even Leicester would generate more excitement in a title race. Harvey Holden, we are playing quite a lot of games at the moment, but I think we probably will run trials in April again, to be honest with you. Sing 12 Days of Christmas, Mark, says Oscar Gamer. I don't know it. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree. That's the first day, actually. On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. I'll go as high as I know. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 cantonars, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, Alan partridge in a pear tree. Boom, that's as far as I go, because I don't know 6. And a lot of people are saying stop. But 36 minutes gone in this game. We've not really had the clear chance for either side, and I do feel that it could be quite a tight game, this. 1 goal could win it. Everton trying to bully Arsenal a bit, but Arsenal have responded to it quite well. Luke says Merry Christmas from South Africa. Well, look, Merry Christmas to all of you. I don't know why I'm standing up. I'm standing up because I want to stretch my back a bit. But Merry Christmas to all of you. Sounds insincere when my face isn't here. Merry Christmas to all of you anyway. I know not everybody celebrates it, but wherever you are, I would imagine it's a quiet time, and it's a family time. It's a football time as well. There's loads of football, isn't there? I think, am I right in thinking in America that they don't play on Christmas Day, do they? Is there any sports that play Christmas Eve? I think we're quite lucky this year that, I think it was last year or the year before, I remember United playing on the 23rd at I think we played Leicester on the 23rd at 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, what? You can't be having football on the 23rd. There's got to be a couple of 3 days, I think, 23rd, 24th and 25th. No football for me, thank you. Where do you think Man United will finish at the end of the season, says Gurunda Garcha. Roadrunner says it's currently a non-event game so far. I think we're sort of waiting for, I think, to be honest with you, would either team be that bothered with a point? BT Sports all day. Don't know what that's all about. They can't show all the games. We will be on the United stand for Arsenal versus United on New Year's Day. 8 o'clock kickoff. Ooh, it's going to be a long day New Year's Day, isn't it? Because most people are hungover and then having to stay up till 8 o'clock for Arsenal United. I think Arsenal United games have been at weird times for the last few years. I don't know why. We've had a Monday night football. They're not great. CC says, why don't you go to the gym, Mark? I'm not bothered. I'm from that generation that people didn't, have inflatable arms and stuff like that. I'm from the Liam Gallagher, Damon Albarn sort of time when, just being slim was sexy. So I just go with that look. I can't be asked to be going down the gym and pumping my arms up. Ugly people do it as well. So, why should I pump my arms up and look like ugly people? Arsenal are playing counter-attacking football, says Sibis. And Chelsea versus Tottenham prediction, says Lauranchi. Oh, well, I did my preview, didn't I? I think that I think I'm going to go to Tottenham to win that 2-1. Blazon Titty says, what is Smith Rowe doing or not doing in this game? Well, he's working hard. I think all of the Arsenal side are working hard. Goals, peace, prosperity with a hippo saying GG. Thank you. they're all working hard, but yeah, and you've got to say, to be fair to Arsenal, for the young team that they've got, they've not given any chances away in the penalty box yet. And Leno catches that cross from Richarlison. So there's not been any great chances for either side. It's been a very equal battle, as I've said a few times. Liam Adams says, you're already ugly, Mark. Yeah, but mate, I'm married and I've got kids and I'm very, very happy, and I don't really want you to fancy me, so I really don't give a shit whether you fancy me or not. My life's complete in relation to all of that. I don't need to be wandering or hoping that somebody finds me attractive. It really is not on my tick list. But thank you. Why spend big money on Pepe and still sit him on the bench? Surely he's better than what's on the pitch, says Jamie Brown. I think it's just part of the process, isn't it, of trying to give him a kick up the backside, because I would pick Pepe. He's a better player than some of the players that have started for Arsenal, but he hasn't performed as they would like. Everton on the attack here. It's a crap cross. And that final ball has been a problem today for both sides. Arsenal have had 0 shots, says MC Games. Nabil says, do you think Calvert-Lewin can become a top striker? No. I don't think he doesn't look prolific to me. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, isn't it, to know. Because he won't get the same amount of shots on goal that a Rashford or a Harry Kane or an Aguero gets playing for Everton. But I think he can play for Everton. He's a grafter and he's got some good skill about him. But I think they probably need somebody a little bit better, to be honest with you. Peter thinks that Everton are going to win this. I think Everton will win it as well. I wouldn't say I'm 90% sure. At this point in time, I'm probably 65% Everton. I don't think it's going to be a draw. I think one of them's going to win. So I'm 65% Everton, 35% Arsenal. You know, Arsenal, the way they're set up, they could nick a goal. Who will score more goals this season, Greenwood or Martinelli? Well, Martinelli's probably going to play more games for Arsenal at the moment, isn't he? But I think if they played the same amount of games, I think Greenwood would score more. But Martinelli's a very good finisher. Both very good players. I don't really do that unless I think the opposition player is crap. I think Arsenal have got some good young players. I like the look of that Saka as a left winger, and I like the look of Martinelli. So, you know, who's going to be better? Well, I actually think that those players Arsenal have got are good, so I'm not going to say they're trash. But from United's point of view, I think Greenwood's proven he's a special talent, and hopefully he can keep getting better. But the game's just been scrappy for both of these teams. They just can't get a string of passes together to build momentum, and I think that's the problem in the final third. And you've got to probably give a bit of credit to both teams' organisational skills, and especially defensively. But there we go, Davies, get a shot off, mate. Oh, what was he doing there? Halfway house. Davies gets it in the box. He sort of does a shot cross when I think he should just go for a shot. Too much power on that cross. Doesn't need to put that much power on it. Goes off for a Tossun corner. A goal kick. Off Tossun for a goal kick. Jonathan Gallagher says whoever scores first is going to win. Dot says I don't rate Martinelli that high. Stupid Arsenal lineup, says Watto. And game and crowd feel dead, says John Boy. We're not dead in here though. We've got lots of conversation going on. Have you ever tried growing a beard, says Callum? I do it quite often, but then I just get to a point where it gets on my nerves, so I just shave it off. And it is Christmas, and I'm not Santa. Oh, here we go. This could be a chance. Martinelli. Oh, fluffed his lines. I fancied him there. They've gotten him down. Look at Lundberg. He wants to get down to his pants, and there's going to be a yellow card here for a late tackle by an Everton player, I think. But Martinelli down the left-hand side there, sight of goal, and he put it into the side netting. And Davies has picked up a retrospective yellow card there, but never troubling Pickford there. He's got to go across the keeper. He's tried to go inside post. A few chances, I would say. But Tom Davies booked again. He got booked early on against United last week. He likes to put a tackle in. Mark, I know Matic isn't our future, but right now he needs to play in games at home where teams sit deeper. He's a better passer than people like Fred and McTominay, says Robbie Stones. There you go. I'm not going to agree with you. Jemmy says Arteta out. He isn't technically in charge yet. It's going to be interesting to see what Arteta does, though. I mean, it's quite similar to when Ollie came into United, isn't it? It's exactly the same time, actually. It's the same weekend after the same amount of games. So whatever Arteta does with Arsenal, he's got exactly the same starting point that Solskjaer had. Solskjaer came in after 17 Premier League games. Arteta's come in after 17 Premier League games. They're in a similar position, although United were a lot further off top four. So it's going to be interesting to see how he develops as a manager. Arsenal's atrocious. Will be easy to see Arteta's impact, says Ashley GR. Thank you. And Pickford's crap, says Sebastian. I don't rate Jordan Pickford. I mean, from an England point of view, it worries me that he could be our goalkeeper. He's just like he's like an actor. He overacts, elaborates on everything that he does. Do I think Arsenal will finish in the top six, says Merlin? Well, to be fair, you can't really say no. You can, but you can't really say no because there is still not much separating the top six. I mean, there's a lot separating the top three, but there's not much separating fourth to sixth. So it could happen. I mean, look, Arsenal, to me, I said at the start of the season that Arsenal should get top four because I didn't rate United or Chelsea's chances. But Arsenal have massively underachieved, and that's why their manager's been sacked. It depends whether this new manager can get the best out of these players. But it is half-time. Ancelotti watching there. It's going to be very interesting to see what Ancelotti can do, and of course Arteta's watching as well. Apparently there's not any influence from Arsenal, from Arteta today, which I find surprising. But second half is going to be interesting. Was it boring from Arsenal? Some people in the live comments are saying, yes, it was. I think Arsenal have come today, and Ljungberg knows it's his last game in charge. Does Ljungberg even stay on at Arsenal as a coach? Was he a coach before? I don't know. I don't know the depth of that. So maybe Arteta, if he has picked the team today, he said play some youth, but if he hasn't picked the team today and he's got no involvement in it, maybe Ljungberg has picked the team, because if you know it's your last game in charge, what do? Pick a load of young players and try and get a point and say, look, I gave all those young players a chance. Their attack has not been up to the task their defence creates for them, says Michael Dunn. I mean, look, my feeling, it's not my birthday today, but thank you everyone who's saying happy birthday. I had to think for myself then. Definitely not my birthday just before Christmas. But no, look, what I want to say about that game is that realistically, Arsenal would probably take a point. They'd love a win, but they'd probably take a point and call it progress. Everton would probably want a win today, but wouldn't be distraught with a point. I think that both defences, especially the Everton defence, has done well, and the midfields have sort of cancelled each other out. And in the final third, I think neither team has really generated enough quality. So at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be one goal wins it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we won't get 3 or 4 goals in the second half. I think Everton have just about shaded it. Pigs in blankets, Walker's crisps, and Brussels sprouts, Walker's crisps. I love Brussels. Who likes Brussels sprouts, by the way? I used to hate them as a kid. They used to make me retch. So if you don't know what a Brussels sprout is, it's basically a round green thing that people eat at Christmas. But we actually eat them throughout the year now. There's a lovely dinner you can make with prawns and rice. And it's really, really nice. I like Brussels sprouts, but I don't know whether I'd like Brussels sprouts crisps, to be honest with you. Pigs in blanket crisp might be quite nice. But yeah, I think that Everton have just about shaded it because they're the home team. They've been a little bit more physical, but both teams lacking quality in the final third. Can't really think of any great chances. Martinelli sort of towards the end there. I fancied him to get it on target because he's good at that sort of thing, but he put it wide. That's about it. Is there a Chelsea watch along tomorrow, says Ab Umar. So yeah, in relation to the channel, please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. I would like to get to 110,000 before New Year. We might do it. If you share the video, there's a share button underneath. Click the share button. And if you haven't subscribed, bottom right hand corner, do subscribe. So we're doing Arsenal Everton, obviously that's what we're doing now. We're doing Manchester City versus Leicester at 5:30. We'll be back live for that. And then tomorrow we're doing Chelsea versus Tottenham, or Tottenham versus Chelsea actually, at 4:30. But I will be doing United Stand at 2 o'clock for Watford, Manchester United. So 4 big games this weekend, 3 on here, 1 on the United Stand. Join us. I love the watch along. It's good time. And Mark King Ghost, that makes you a paedophile if you're saying that, to be honest. Given Everton have beaten Chelsea and drew to United in their last 2 games, I expected far more from them. Given Everton have beaten Chelsea and drew to United in the last 2 games, I expect far more from them. Yeah, but Jordan, you know what? I think Everton suit teams that attack them. Chelsea came to Goodison Park and had 80% possession in the first half and put them on the front foot and then got caught on the break. United were the home team, and again, it was this very similar story in relation to possession. Today, Arsenal are soaking up pressure, and Everton, their last 2 games have not been like that. So it's not a surprise to me, to be honest with you. I subscribed. It's nice. It's good. It's worth it, says Who Me. Thank you very much, pal. And Mark, if both Gomez and Chong end up going, who do you think will become the better player, says Merlin Conyu. I think this is something not just United fans can relate to. I think Arsenal fans can relate to this as well, and maybe other clubs. Again, it comes down to poor ownership, where players are allowed to let their contracts run down. I don't think it's even players running their contract down. I think it's to do with the clubs being run badly and tight, that they don't want to renew contracts early because obviously a renewal normally means more money. So with United, I feel that they've got this really bad record of letting players run their contracts down. Herrera went last year. Obviously Pogba a few years ago as well. So if Chong and Gomez go, I'll be bloody angry. But I could see Chong going to Juventus and Gomez going to Barcelona, which shows you the quality of those players. It would be embarrassing. But it's happened with Arsenal. Sanchez contract ran down. They've had a few players where Aaron Ramsey ran down, so it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating, very frustrating. Ericsson to United, your thoughts as AFC plays. I don't want Christian Eriksen at United because we tried to get him in the summer and he wanted to go to Real Madrid, so that's a rejection. On top of that, he's also a player that has been not very good for the last few months. He's 28, I think. He reminds me of a Sanchez sort of signing where United fans will go, yeah, he's a great player, judging him on 8 months ago. Like, this is the same thing we did with Sanchez. The warning signs were there with Sanchez. You speak to Arsenal fans, those 4 months before he came to us, he wasn't that good. But we thought we were getting prime Sanchez, not the fraud that we got. Leeds coming up next year, old rivalry, great history, your thoughts, says Mercurex. I'm all for it, mate. I'm all for it. I want the Premier League to be competitive. I would rather United were playing Leeds than playing bloody Norwich or someone like that. I want us to play games that excite me. So the Leeds game gives us 2 more games a season that are exciting. So I'm all for that. Zayn Miasi says, Mark, we're awful. I was uplifted after seeing Rise of Skywalker. Now this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a Rise of Skywalker sort of film review on my Mark Goldbridge channel at some point. I think the first few minutes will be spoiler free, and then I'll say spoilers now, so I can sort of give it for everybody. But wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal nicked this, Zane. And if any Arsenal fans watching, it would not surprise me if Arsenal nicked this. They're playing to nick it, and Everton are struggling to break them down. So Also, watch out for Tom Davies. I was expecting him to get sent off against us. He got an early yellow card. He's had a yellow card again. So a red card could be important if this. Do you like Advocar at Christmas to Sebastian United? I do. I haven't had it for a long time, but I do like it. I mean, for me, my drinks cupboard is got mulled wine in it, red wine, lager, alcoholic ginger beer, love that, whiskey, rum and coke. Those are the tipples of me over Christmas. There we go. Toby says, Mark, speaking facts about Ericsson. I don't know who you support, Toby. I'd be interested if you were a Spurs fan, because a lot of Spurs fans... Also, I do speak to Spurs fans, and one thing they have said to me is that Christian Eriksen is ultra frustrating at not being able to beat the first man from a corner. So, yeah, there you go. McTominay or Guendouzi, says Abdul Rahim. I like these things. Samuel Techie says, I love watching your channel, mate. Thank you. Look, I love the fact that everyone comes together. Not in that way. What I like about the watch along is the interactivity and the thought that, we've got 3,400 people around the world watching a game of football, but interacting with each other. It's a great thing. Football Manager will be back. Cheers, Shimba77. I've done episode 1 of my Manchester United career mode. Episode 2 will happen. I'm not going to put a date on it. Just subscribe, get your notifications on, and you'll find out when it's going to happen. It's not going to be this weekend because there's so much football. It probably won't be Monday. It's probably going to be after Christmas, but it might not be. But on top of that, I have already said, a little bit of a spoiler here, in relation to Football Manager, you don't even need to be a football manager for this. I'm going to do some sort of 10-minute video experiments involving Football Manager, whereby we do some experiments like 10 years of Rashford at United. We're just going to whiz through 10 seasons and see how he does with his career. Messi at Arsenal, because I can sort of edit it so that Messi's at Arsenal. Things like that, just to see how that would work out. There's a few things that we can do, which I think will be fun as little things. And when we start doing that, if you've got any ideas for other ones, let me know. Have you stopped career mode, to Zachary? I had to stop career mode because you can't play a Europa League final when you've played the semi-final again. That was just rage. Score prediction for Watford and United and Tottenham Chelsea, says Manik Lippi. I think that Watford and Manchester United will be a draw. I refuse to predict a United win because they never win when I do, and we need to win, so I'm going to predict a draw. And Chelsea and Spurs, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Spurs, which would put Spurs... I don't think it does put Spurs into the top 4, actually. It puts them level on points. I think they've got to win by 2 goals to take the top 4 spot. Prime McManaman or Prime Beckham, says Michael Dunn. There's only one answer to that. Beckham is king. Do I think Arteta will do well, says Prosper Hodgson. I'm going to answer that question. Do I think Arteta's going to do well? He might. I'm not saying definitely no. He might. But if you're pushing me, no. Because I think that job is very, very hard. And I think that he won't get the money. He hasn't got the squad. There won't be a lot of patience, which I agree with. I think Arsenal fans are impatient, not because of the managers, because of the ownership. It's the same as Manchester United. So I think that they might... I think it's a very hard job for Arteta. So no, I don't think he will succeed, to be honest with you. Honest answer. Give me a question, I'll give you an honest answer. If you've got any good topics that you want us to be discussing while we're live, that's always a welcome on here. Do I think that Fred's a £52 million signing, says X2 Spider? Well, you know what? You don't need to be a United fan for that. United paid £52 million for Fred a year and a half ago. Do you think he was overpriced? He was a Brazilian international at the time. He went to the World Cup with Brazil as well. His first year and a bit wasn't great, but he's doing quite well now. Is he a £52 million midfielder? I know a lot of people will be answering now. Mark, if we lose this, Corbyn will be even more moody on Monday, says Amy. I say, oh yes, Jeremy's an Arsenal fan, isn't he? Can't buy any look at the moment, can he? And Son or Mane is a good one, Mohammed. I'll come back to that. But I think that Fred at 52 million was overpriced, yeah. I mean, we got him from Shakhtar Donetsk, and 52 million was probably, for me, 12 million too much. I think we overpaid. But Yeah, I do. I think he's a £40 million midfielder. He might become a £52 million striker midfielder, but I think we overpaid, to be honest. Humi says, I'm in the midst of a full-scale sleep-inducing email, better than ASMR, to your new website to be a content writer. Humi, if you are doing that, all I would say is look at the content on the website. Look at how short it is. It's 4 or 5 paragraphs max. It's punchy with a little bit at the end about your thoughts on it. That's all we want, which means you can write more articles anyway, and it's topical stuff. So we're not looking for war and peace articles on there. That's not what we want that website to be. We want it to be topical, interactive, and fast information. So just check some of the articles on the website. We've had a couple of new writers on there already. There's people taking interest. I've done some articles as well. So we want to populate it. We want to cover all sorts of stuff, whether it's, you know, a tactical angle, a bit about the youth or whatever like that, but topical, punchy stuff. One word, no spoil, was Star Wars good, says Harry's 1997. I would definitely say go and watch it. I've not given you my one word yet. I watched it with my daughter. She loved it. My brother has messaged me. He loved it. My best man has watched it. He loved it. Ben from 90 Minutes said it was rushed. I need to watch it again. I went into it quite negative. I've got to be honest with you, because I hated The Last Jedi. And I think that negativity made me have quite a negative view of the film. But a lot of people like it. So go and watch it. For me, I would say rushed is the best word. That doesn't mean it's bad or good, but I need to watch it again. But they whiz through so much. The 2 hours goes very, very quickly. And I think ultimately for me, and I'm not giving you any spoilers here because the second film's been out for ages, that second film ruins it, because the first film was a good setup, The Force Awakens with Abrams. I think if he'd done all 3, he would have got a complete trilogy. I think that second film made it very difficult for the third film to make sense, but as a standalone film, it did. Who's got the better board, Chelsea or Manchester United or Arsenal, says Vedant. Chelsea have got the better board. I mean, whatever you think about Abramovich, his focus has pretty much been throughout his stay to be successful on the pitch. He doesn't mess around at getting rid of managers either. So, you know, he might not be spending as much money as he used to, but I think he is. Thoughts about Mino signing for Liverpool, Bob Paddock? He's going to be a little bit like Haaland when he comes to United. It's like they're good signings, but you just don't know because it's a big step up from that league, and they've done well in the Champions League, but the Premier League's a bit different. But he could, you know, knowing Liverpool, he'll probably be a raging success because their quality at signing people just seems to be absolutely spot on, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's a clever signing from Liverpool, and again, it's not a major money signing, is it? So yeah, it looks good. Second half's about to kick off. Remember, we are doing Manchester City versus Leicester at 5:30, and I'll be starting on the drink for that one. So join me for a Christmas drink. I might warm myself up some mulled wine for that one. But yeah, it's 0-0 in this one. Can we find a winner? I'm going to be horrible to Arsenal fans and say I am hoping Everton win, because for the simple reason I support Manchester United, and I don't want to play you on New Year's Day with you having the opportunity to go above us. So the bigger gap we can create between you and us for New Year's Day, the better. But having said that, it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal went and nicked this 1-0. But we're up and running in the second half. Time is going. I tell you what, hey, I'm really looking forward to the next James Bond film. I saw the trailer last night before Star Wars. Out on April the 2nd, looks great. I'm really looking forward to that. The last Daniel Craig one as well, and I like Daniel Craig. I think he's a good Bond. Who will the next Bond be? Could be a woman. Arsenal on the attack here. Good tackle by Sibi. Good tackle again. He got the ball. Play on. Merlin says a lot of pundits push this lazy connotation of Martial. It's a lie. It's just not true. I think it's an agenda. I think a lot of the ex-pundits, you know, if you think about it, Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, they're all the vocal ones, aren't they? And they all played, well, most of them come through the youth, Roy Keane was very young when he came to Manchester United and very impressed by that youth. So their standards about the youth and everything are very high, and they're very biased towards that. And I understand that. I totally understand that. But what a dive by Xhaka. He doesn't even touch him. Oh, Everton in the box. Richarlison. Oh, across the face of the goal. Nothing doing. But Martial gets a lot of unfair stick. I always judge Arsenal on this. Not Arsenal. I always judge Manchester United on this. And I can't remember what I was going to say there. I can't remember what I was going to say there. I've totally lost my track. I know. On Martial, I always judge players on this. Who of our rivals would take our players? And loads of Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans and Spurs fans have said this. They'd love Martial at their club. So, would you love Jesse Lingard? No. Would you want Dan James? Maybe. Would you want Pereira or Mata? God, no. Would you like Martial? Yes, please. So that sells you everything about Martial. There's an agenda against him which I think is unfair. Galindo, I think Manchester United will sign Erling Haaland. I'm quite good on body language, and I think that the way Solskjaer's acting, he's definitely going to get. It looks to me like we've got United. Next Bond, me, says Aldo Reina. I'm probably a little bit too old to be the next Bond with my back, but yeah, I'm pretty good at body language, and I think that Solskjaer's given a lot away that the Haaland deal is done. Having said that, just to give a bit of a negative, I was never that good at body language in the pub. As a young teenager, I would think that somebody's interested and end up with a drink over you, so it doesn't always work out. Mark, why don't you start a new channel reviewing films, says Amy Assey? I've thought about it. 2 reasons why not. 1, time. 2, there isn't enough films coming out to make it worthwhile, And Nick P, wait a minute, Arsenal on the attack here, good play, and it's going to go for a corner to Arsenal there. Nick P says BT are showing all 10 games on New Year's Day on their various channels, basically 5 main games throughout the day, the other 5 clash at certain times. That's interesting, Nick, because I didn't know Sky or BT could do that. I know Amazon do, but I didn't know that they could do that. Corner for Arsenal here, though. Can there be a threat from a corner? It's going to be Nelson on it, who's done quite well, I think, for Arsenal today. Again, another corner that doesn't beat the first man. I wonder if it's the sun. It is a bit sunny on that side. Anyone started watching The Witcher on Netflix, talking about Netflix CC? I think that looks quite good. Arsenal in. What a tackle that is. That's a fantastic covering tackle from Yerry Mina. No trouble. Absolutely superb. Aubameyang slips it in. It's coming back to Xhaka, who's followed it through. And it's a diving, sliding tackle. And he times it to perfection, because if he gets that wrong, that's a penalty. But it's not. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've started watching The Witcher, but I sort of want to save it till after Christmas. What a save! What a miss! And Aubameyang on the back post. I think it flicks off an Everton head, or Chambers maybe flicks it to the back post. It looks like Aubameyang's going to tap it in, and Pickford makes the save. Aubameyang should score. It's an absolute sitter. It's Chambers who flicks it to the back post, and Aubameyang just bounces up for him, hits his leg, he gets it on target. To be fair, it's not a clean connection, but it's straight at Pickford, who palms it up over the goal. Just. It remains 0-0. And Everton will clear from this corner. You going? So that's the golden opportunity for Arsenal, who I said could nick this. Do you think Martial will fulfil his potential at United, says Merlin? I think that's a better question. And I know you did actually ask that before. I think that is the better question. And I think that the jury's out on that with Martial. Because if you do buy Erling Haaland and you say you're going to play regularly, does that mean that Martial's not playing at number 9 anymore? Which I don't... I think that would be... Oh, what a good run. Torreira finds... This has got to be... Oh, they both get in each other's way and it's a crap shot. Really, that should have been left for Rowe Smith. Aubameyang took it off him, really. It was in his stride, and I think he would have probably scored, but Aubameyang took it. It was a good run by Torreira. Rolls it across the face of the penalty box, and it's into the path of Rowe Smith, but Aubameyang takes it from a standing start, whereas Rowe Smith would have been running onto it. So Arsenal's looking like they're on top at the moment. Arsenal on the top. It is an Umbro kit for Everton. Yeah, they still make it. Jatin Gupta says, do you think Greenwood needs to become physically more powerful in the coming years for taking the next step? Maybe it can help him to score 20 in a Premier League season. I mean, look, Mason Greenwood's only just 18, and I think physically he looks pretty good for an 18-year-old. So, I think he will get better. What am I calling him Rowe Smith for? His name's not Rowe Smith. I don't know. I'm not an Arsenal fan, am I? Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe. I'll tell you a funny story actually today. I'm calling him Rowe Smith and his name's Smith Rowe. But I went to the cinema last night with my oldest daughter, who is only about 12. Well, she is 12 actually, it's not about. And we were talking on the way back, and she was on about this rapper who died of a seizure. And I'm not really into rap music anyway. And but this morning I was a little bit bored on my phone, so I was trying to find out who she was talking about. And I said to the wife, I thought this rapper that the daughter liked was called Spice World. She said, no, it's Juice World. So it tells you how up to date I am with that sort of stuff. Corner here for Everton. Segerton with the shot. Yeah, I thought his name was Spice World. Apparently it was Juice World, and he died of a seizure. Mark, do you think the new Ghostbusters will be good? Says Zamias. I'm not really into the Ghostbusters, to be honest. Time to put over 1.5 goals on the exchange at 2.38, says Humi. There you go. Yeah, it was Juice World, not Spice World. I thought it was... I actually... If I could show you my phone screen, you'll see on my search history... We don't want to show you that, but on my search history it says Spice World seizure. People probably had a seizure watching Spice World. It was a shit film, but that wasn't the rapper. And Arsenal just looking dangerous on the break here. And they have got a break. It's Martinelli down the left-hand side. Everton need to get people back. Slips it in. Throw in. Which way do I think it's going to go? 54 minutes, I think, at the moment. I think Arsenal looking like they might nick it. Yeah, I mean, look, I read about that guy who died. He was only 22 and he was a rapper, but apparently the plane had landed and the police were going on it to search for guns and stuff, and they did find guns. And apparently he swallowed a load of pills or something which caused the seizure. I don't know whether that's all out in public knowledge, but it was on these articles that I read. So shame, really. He's only 21, Juice World. And there was another guy who got stabbed, wasn't there, from a rapper down the London area a couple of weeks ago as well. It's sad. To watch alongs for tomorrow will be Watford versus Manchester United on the United stand, and Tottenham versus Chelsea on here. But remember, 5:30 we're back. We're back at 5:30 on this channel. We're doing Man City versus Leicester as well. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and keep sharing the video. We've got 3,500 cracking people watching today. We normally get to about 4,000, but it is, some people might be doing Christmas shopping or down the pub. You can't beat being down the pub at Christmas. Everton just not able to create that big chance in this game so far. Zane Miassi says, come on you Gunners, let's beat this B-Tech Braveheart. Yeah, well it was your saying from last week, to be fair. We couldn't beat the B-Tech Braveheart. Here's Rowe Smith. Or Smith Rowe. It's Rowe Smith, isn't it? I'm calling him Smith Rowe. Should we just call him Rowe? Because I know that's his surname. Good play by Sidibe there. He's a good right back, that Sidibe player. Tosson. Nice. Oh, that Davies is crap. I'm a Watford fan. I think we'll do you lot, says Matthew Goodger. Depends if you're organised at the back. It depends if you're organised at the back. United do struggle against those sort of teams, to be fair. But I've seen United in these games before, and we do tend to pull out a good result. So I'm hopeful. Chris Pope says, why did you choose City versus Leicester as the watch-along? Because I think it's a brilliant game. Like, it's second against third. I think it's a really interesting game. I know Liverpool are playing Flamengo at the time, but look, United have played in that World Cup tournament. We won it ourselves. So it's a bit of a joke. I mean, fair play to Liverpool. I'm sure they'll win it, and they'll be happy with winning it. But I'd rather watch Leicester against Man City. And I think City will win. I don't think they'll win 5-0, Jez, but I do think City will win. But, it's just exciting to watch Leicester, isn't it? They're not there by mistake. So it's interesting to see how well Leicester do against City. They were only a couple of minutes away from getting a point at Anfield, weren't they? That penalty on Mane, which I don't think would be given these days. I know it happened this season, but we've seen loads of those penalties not given since that Mane one. It's 0-0, Jez. It could be 1-0 now. Oh, no, it's not. Good cross coming in from Martinelli and cut out by the Everton defender. I think it was Holgate, who's had a good game. He looks a good player, that Holgate, as well, for Everton. Yeah, they've got some good young players coming through as well, Everton, haven't they? Awful game. Can England win 2022 World Cup? I wouldn't have thought so. It's going to be very hot. And Arteta has a very strong hairline, almost helmet-like. I can only dream. Mine's heading south, says Nick P. He has got a very strong hairline. Very, very strong hairline. The right back for Everton is Sidibe. And he has had a very, very good game for them. But I think Arsenal, to be fair, have done something that they don't normally do at Everton. They've fought really hard and they've worked really hard, and it's made it very, very difficult for Everton. I mean, Everton just haven't had an open opportunity at goal yet. And I'd say the way the second half's gone, Arsenal are having a lot more of the ball, and they look the more likely to score. So it's a different Arsenal team in this second half. Hey says, how long do you think it'll be before AFTV is screaming Arteta out? Well, they've got a lot of different voices there, haven't they, on that channel for a start. I think the concerning thing is when some of them are like, I wouldn't have chosen Arteta, but I'm going to give him a chance. That's never a good start. And I've done that with certain players at United. So they're never going to get that long when somebody's saying, I wouldn't have picked him, but I'll give him a chance, because that means they've got to be pretty good from the start. Otherwise, they're going to go, told you so, told you so. So they're the people you need to watch out for as the Arsenal fans, are the ones who say, I'll back him, I'll give him a chance, but he's not really what I wanted. They won't give him that long if it doesn't start going well from the start. And I've been like that with some United players. Matic, Never wanted him. Said I'd give him a chance. Turned against him quite quickly because he's crap. Lukaku was a bit the same. Fellaini. I think they tried to cram too much into Skywalker, but was good fun. Defo more than this, says Aim Miasi. Anfield and Goodison stadiums look so similar, says Fitness and Scripted Sharath Kamath. And Joel Morris says, Mark, are you doing a watch along for Leicester versus Liverpool on Boxing Day? No, is the short answer. It's Boxing Day, mate. I don't really want to be doing one for United, but it's Boxing Day, so I'm not spending a day doing loads of football watch-alongs. I'm going to have a couple of days off. But I am going to do Manchester United versus Newcastle because we don't never not do a United one. But I'm not going to then just continue. No. I think I'm at a party that night anyway. What a run by Nelson there. He looks a good player, doesn't he? He is a good player. He was on loan at... where was he on loan? In Germany last year. He's a good player, he is. Surprised we've not seen more of him. And Humi says, thought for a long time Sky Money came in, the last big one. Everyone thought it meant the big four would break away, but what it has done has made lesser teams now so much more competitive. Yeah, because you can have too much money, can't you, Humi? I mean, the reality is teams, some of these, look at the money teams like West Ham spend and Everton spend. Mark, when you play us, why don't you get Ricky and Claude together, says Amy. Yeah, it'd be good that actually. I think Arsenal look like they're going to win this. In fact, I'm even going to be brave enough to tweet this. Some would say I've just jinxed it. I would say I hope so. Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? So we've got 25 minutes to go. Everton just haven't had a chance. They just haven't had a chance to score yet. Please do subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 109,000 subscribers today. We're currently on 108,500 and we are doing Leicester Man City at 5:30. So subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, help the channel grow. And also please share the video. There's a share button underneath. If you share it, you can share it on Twitter and Facebook. That'd be great. Everyone's welcome on here, so help the community grow. Rashford is just a new Danny Welbeck, says Arsenal fan. Yeah, whatever. Marcus Rashford's had more shots than anybody else in the Premier League this season. He scored 10 goals in 17 Premier League games. I don't think Danny Welbeck's ever done that or ever would do that. Mark, I heard if we win, Claude is getting strippers on the bus for Ty when they come back to London, says Zane. You're losing it again, Zane. Stay with it. Stay Zane. Arsenal defensively have worked very hard today. I've got to say that. That is their weakness, and they have. I mean, look, they've basically played with 6 at the back. If you look at their line, their wingers really do tuck in and make it like a back 6. I think they've just really tried to not concede today, Arsenal, and they've played very deep when Everton have got it. Is Big Dunk still involved for Everton, Zach? Yes, he is. And so's Lundberg. Lundberg's on the touchline and Dunk Ferguson's on the touchline. Ancelotti and Arteta are both in the stands, so they've not officially taken over yet. Well, they have, but they haven't, if you know what I mean. They've not picked the team today. So Arteta's first game will be Boxing Day, won't it? Which I think, if I'm right in saying, they're home to Chelsea or Bournemouth on Boxing Day. Can't remember which one. Or maybe they're away, I don't know. Substitution for Arsenal. It's not Pepe, it's not Lacazette, it's Willock coming on. Hold on a minute, I'll be back. I'll get it. There's somebody out. later. It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the how many penalties has Rashford scored though? Because he's actually missed some, hasn't he? Looking forward to the Champions League games. Not till February, Brentley Sadiki. But yeah, we do Champions League watch-alongs on here, so make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. But yeah, there's some good ones, isn't there? There's some really good ones. Man City, Real Madrid. I think that City might win that, really. Real Madrid are not the team they were before, even though they'll probably win La Liga. I don't think that... well, look at what Liverpool did to Barcelona with Messi last year. Premier League is the best league in the world at the moment, quality-wise. So I'd say Man City are favourites in that. This is good by Everton. Really good build-up play. Still, Arsenal have got loads of people back, though. Richarlison does well. Oh! Ping pong, and it's gone out for a corner. Shot by Calvert-Lewin, blocked, ping pong, corner. But that was probably Everton's best chance without getting a clear-cut chance. Richarlison, good work, lays it off to Calvert-Lewin, block, and then it goes off Chambers for a corner. Could have gone anywhere. Lucky you's laughing, saying that Real won't win La Liga. Well, I think they will. So let's see what happens in May. They're checking a handball for a penalty here. I don't think it will be. Corner. Well, yeah, Real Madrid are a joint top with Barcelona, and they drew last week in the Nou Camp. So Willock there. I think Everton were appealing that one more. Was it Zane with some hot shop strippers and pizza and some DVD movies at the door? Says who, me? Prediction for first Spurs versus Chelsea, says Tracy Riley. I think Spurs are going to win 2-1. There's not been a penalty given. So, Jez, why expose yourself, Jez? Like, you know, you've just exposed yourself as an absolute troll. Idiot. Chelsea Bayern predictions, says Cascade. I think that's going to be hard for Chelsea. I think that Bayern Munich... But they're hit and miss themselves. Bayern. So I'd say Bayern are favourites in that, to be fair. But you don't know. Prince Bruce says Aubameyang is just the Gabonese Agbong Lahore. Is the Gabonese Vardy, isn't he? Which actually is, you know, what's wrong with being the Gabonese Vardy? Lovely switch of the play here. 20 minutes to go. Can Arsenal find that goal? That maybe the second half is... You know, I think the start to the second half, Arsenal look more likely to score, but Everton have done quite well recently. Arsenal in possession. People think Liverpool versus Athletic will be a good game. I think Liverpool will win that. I don't really see them having much of a problem. To be honest. What's wrong with being the French Charlie Austin, says Wilmer. I think if you're Lacazette, you probably would like to be something a little bit better than that. like a virgin. There's a lot of virgins in the comments section today. Chelsea Bayern, the history, says Ben. Yeah, that's where they won. I mean, that one always stands out to me. When Chelsea won that European Cup, that was at Munich. That was in Munich. That was at Bayern Munich's ground, and they lost. I mean, how bad is that? It would be like the European Cup final being at Old Trafford and losing it. It would just be horrible, absolutely horrible. Yeah, I'm with you, Bryn. I think Liverpool will comfortably beat Atletico Madrid. I really do. I don't look like Erling Haaland, man. It's just a running joke that people are doing at the moment. There's absolutely no comparison between me and Erling Haaland, apart from the fact that we have a slightly similar haircut. That's it. What am I doing for New Year's Eve? Says blah blah. What is that, an invite? Guys, we've gone back in time, Back to the Future, 24th of the 8th on the watch-along screen. Mark has found time travel. Where does Mark's talent end? Says who, me. Yeah, I just can't be asked to change it. I never do. I just keep it back there. And Fitness Unscripted, Sharath Kamath says, Jamie Vardy is so underrated, the perfect number 9. Surprised if Southgate doesn't phone him up before the Euros. I don't think he will, Zane, to be honest. I don't think he will. I don't think he will take him, to be honest. Still 15 minutes to go in this game. What's your favourite crisps? It's been a little bit like that. I can't see it being 0-0. To be honest though, I think Arsenal would take a lot from this. And the interesting thing is that they've played not to get beat, but they've started to get a little bit more expansive. And will that then lead them to concede? And can Arsenal sort of sense a win, and then that'll leave space at the back? Everton just not been able to move the ball from back to front quick enough. Declan Rice is awful. Thoughts, dreadful player, says Randy Orton. I don't want Declan Rice at United. I don't rate him at all. I'm like Keno on that. Between Tottenham, Man United and Arsenal, which team has the best chance of winning a trophy? Says hey 0011. Well, I think Spurs are the better team, but Spurs are in the Champions League, but they're not going to win it. United and Arsenal could win the Europa League, so that's a better chance. Carabao Cup, Arsenal and Spurs aren't even in that anymore, so United have got a better chance there. FA Cup, I think United have got the hardest draw in the cup, so I would say, to me, it's either Spurs or United. But it's not impossible for Arsenal to win a cup either. I mean, Arsenal are now becoming the sort of unknown, aren't they? With their new manager, it's hard to know what they're going to be this season or in future seasons. But yeah, a lot of people keep asking me for the Chelsea Spurs prediction. I must have said about 1 million times, not quite, probably 4, that I'm going to go with Spurs to win 2-1. I think Chelsea at the moment are just struggling a little bit. I think fatigue. They're a young team. That went out. Mark, who would be a dream defensive midfield signing? Would love Ndidi, but doubt we could get him as well as Maddison, says Merlin. I think the dream CDM would be Kante, and I think, Ndidi would be good as well. So I would like either of those two, to be honest with you, yeah, because they're Premier League proven as well. Gone out for a goal kick as well. Shocking. It's been shocking, really. This game has not been that good. Lacazette's coming on for Arsenal. I think Lacazette, with Pepe as well, Arsenal have got the better bench to try and win it. Lacazette, the thing about Lacazette is he always seems to get opportunities. So there's still, like I say, there's about 15 minutes left in this game. So Merlin, I've just answered that question. Why are you typing it in the same again? I'm going to have to put you in a timeout for that. You can't have a question answered and then ask the same question. Predictions for the Club World Cup final: Liverpool versus Flamengo, says Mento55. I would say that our Liverpool will win that. Yeah, I don't really know much about Flamengo other than the pink things in the zoo. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know how good Brazilian teams measure up against a Premier League side, because we don't see it, do we? We don't see that. We don't see Brazilian or Italian. I mean, look, their attendances and their passion for the game in Argentina and Brazil are huge. I just don't know how good their teams are against European sides. What's the equivalent, So it'd be interesting to find out. But I'm watching Man City Leicester. Watch along on here. Aubameyang's coming off, so he's not going to keep Aubameyang on. He's took Aubameyang off. He's bringing Lacazette on, so he's not totally going for it. Harvey Holden says, is the Carabao Cup harder to win than the Europa League for United? Well, there's less games to win the Carabao Cup, but I think it is, Man City are one of the best teams in the world, regardless of what people think, so it's going to be hard. Which will be bigger, Disney Plus or the United Stand, says Zane. I think Disney Plus might have a bit of an advantage over us, to be fair. God, some of Everton's passing today has been shite. It's interesting, this scenario, though, isn't it? It's very interesting, this scenario, because you've got Duncan Ferguson won't be manager for the next game, Ancelotti will. Ljungberg won't be manager for the next game, Arteta will. You've got Arteta and Ancelotti sat in the stadium watching this game with no input on it, but knowing they're going to take it on. You want your team to win. I know that sounds really obvious, but you do, because you're taking over. So if you're Ancelotti and Arsenal win this, it puts you closer to the bottom three, doesn't it? It gives you, it puts that little bit more pressure on you. If you are Arsenal and you get 3 points, it means you're a little bit closer to that top four thing that you can take credit for. So it must be quite nervy for Ancelotti and Arteta. It's not like there's no pressure on them, is there? They can get a win. It puts them in a better position coming into the games that they take over. Tosson's coming off for Everton. I mean, he's a grafter. I don't think there's much to his game, really, is there? And Moise Keane coming on. Will he sub him off again? He's got 10 minutes. Moise Keane will be happy to see the back of Dunk. Ancelotti is known to help younger players, says Fitness and Richard Sarath Kamath. Well, at least Ferguson's playing for him. And then, to be honest, with regards to Duncan Ferguson, if he doesn't lose this game, he's managed 4 games for Everton, and he's drawn 3 and won 1 against Leicester, United, Chelsea and Arsenal. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? So, and look, yeah, they did lose to Leicester on penalties, but after 90 minutes it was a draw. So, normally that sort of form as a caretaker manager gets you the job, doesn't it? Ten minutes to go. Are we going to get a winner? Pepe is on the bench and he hasn't been brought on. Do you think Spurs will get a trophy this season, says Johnny Noble? I would never count it out with Mourinho, but I think that their only trophy they're going to win is the FA Cup, which everybody's still in at the moment, aren't they? So it's difficult to say, but it wouldn't surprise me with Mourinho. He likes to win trophies, doesn't he? I think they'll go all out for the FA Cup. 10 minutes to go. Are we going to get a winner? Still think Arsenal are more likely to get it, to be fair, but we'll see. We'll see. Everton just haven't had, for the home team, they've just not been... It sounds amazing, but they've not been able to break Arsenal down. Arsenal have worked ridiculously hard, which is so unlike them. And you know, it's a learning curve for Arsenal a little bit too late, isn't it? That if you work hard, you don't lose games of football. And... you know, Arsenal's weakness has always been their defence, isn't it? But today, it's done quite well. Shane Buckley says 2 terrible teams. Thank God I don't support either. Well, Arsenal have passed their way out of trouble here. But I think they've slowed it down a little bit there to catch Everton out. Well, they're still in possession of the ball. Tosson came on for a Waby, so Big Dunk has subbed a sub against his Jordan Such. And a wild shot there goes out for a goal kick from Martinelli. Man City versus Leicester prediction, says Ronak. Well, I'll be live at 5:30 for that, for the kickoff. So join me for that. Watch along. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new. We've nearly got the normal 4,000 watching. About 8 minutes to go in this one. We are going to be back live this afternoon at about 5:30 for the kickoff of Manchester City versus Leicester. My prediction is I think Man City will win that, but I'm very, very excited about it, to be honest. I know it's old news, but did you see Ronaldo's header, says Fitness and Richard Sarath Kamath? Yes, I did. I thought it was great. Absolutely great. But he's, you know, that's no surprise to me as a United fan. He's always had that amazing leap. So, yeah, great. Favourite trainers, Mark, says Isaac C. Well, I've got Adidas Gazelles. I've got some really nice brown sort of trainer shoes, which are Hugo Boss. They're fantastic. I buy all sorts, really. I don't really buy Nike anymore, I've got to be honest. I haven't bought anything Nike for ages. I tend to go with Adidas, to be honest, unless I'm going to get something a little bit more expensive. Oh, terrible touch by Moise Keane there. He's not going to do his himself any good there, is he? Yerry Mina's come out of position here. You know, I tell you what, Yerry Mina is. I think he's been very good for Everton today. He always looks a little bit like he's got a mistake in him. Lacazette's offside. 5 minutes to go. Nebu says he expects a goal from Aubameyang. You're going to be waiting a very long time because he's gone off. It's Lacazette's come on now. And Amalesh says, what are the chances of Liverpool winning the Champions League this season? I think they're pretty high. Because if Liverpool just keep winning, they could have the Premier League more or less wrapped up by March, which means you can focus on the Champions League. So I think it's pretty high. Tom Davies. That's gone out. Mark, why don't you buy the trainers from Back to the Future, says Amy Assey. Do they still sell them? Pickford's blasted that right up pitch to Leno. He's an up and down player, says Bamboosh about Mina. I think Arsenal have defended well today. I mean, Yerry Mina's now injured. I think he's caught one in the nuts. What will happen with Pogba? Selling him would be naive, says Ashu. Ronaldo and Real Madrid players used to do antics like this for a new contract. Maybe this is the same. I think there is a chance that Pogba will sign a new contract at Manchester United. I don't think it's the right thing for the player or the club, but the club are just focused on making money, so they'll do it. Crap game, says backup account. Well, hopefully, I think Leicester Man City will be a better game, won't it? Unless Man City just dominate them and they get 3-0 up at half time like they did against Arsenal. But hopefully, I think that will be a better game. This game, look, Everton are a grafting team. They don't create many chances, Everton. They've hardly created anything today. They're a grafting team, Everton. So them getting 0 is always a possibility. And I think Arsenal have approached this game not to lose. And it's worked. And they've tried to nick it. And hasn't worked as yet. It's a yellow card for Chambers here. He's caught it. I think it's a bit harsh giving him a yellow card there. He's in possession of the ball to get rid of it. And loses it. Yeah, it's a bit late actually. Yeah, yellow card for a foul on Holgate, who is now playing in the midfield because Keane has come on to play at centre-back with Yeremina. So it's an opportunity for Everton to whip a cross in from a dangerous position. They've not done really anything from any crosses as yet. Digne's failed to beat the first man a few times, but... Mark, don't forget you lost 4-0 under Ole and you still want him as manager, says Miasi. And Matthew Sims says that Daley Blind has been diagnosed with a heart condition, which is very sad. Does that mean he's got to retire? Remember Michael Carrick had a heart condition and still carried on playing, but if that's the end of Daley Blind's footballing career, it's very, very sad. And obviously thoughts with him because he's been fantastic for Ajax since he left United, and he was a good professional at United as well. Tom Davies has got it on the edge of the box. Martinelli's done a good job on him there. I thought that was an Arsenal throw-in, to be fair, but Everton have got it. 4 minutes to go. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 109,000 subscribers today. We are doing Man City versus Leicester. Calvert-Lewin. Arsenal have basically got so many people behind the ball today that they've really struggled to break down this. Everton have really struggled to break Arsenal down today. Carrick had an irregular heartbeat, says Shells HD. Well, it's still a heart condition, isn't it? That's what I mean. Like, there's different heart conditions, isn't there? Moise Keane holds it up. Sigurdsson into Tom Davies. He needs a pass. He's going to shoot. Greedy, stupid, and wide. Everton better than Arsenal under Ancelotti, says Ashu. I think both. I think, to be honest with you, with both clubs getting new managers, they'll probably both be happy with a point. I do remember Fabrice Muamba, Louis Taylor, and he had... he nearly died on the pitch, didn't he? You know, his life was rescued by a doctor on the pitch. And he obviously had to retire from football because of it. So if that's the same for Daley Blind, then it's very, very sad. But ultimately, you know, some footballers have died on the pitch, haven't they? So, you know, it's difficult though, isn't it? It's difficult when you've got to retire from something that you're good at and you enjoy because of health conditions. But, you know, I'm sure people will be saying to him, it could have been a lot worse. You know, that condition could have cost you your life, and at least we've figured it out. And you know, you can have a normal life, but you're just not going to be able to play football. He'd make a very good pundit anyway, Daley Blind, or a coach. That Moise Keane's not that good, is he? I mean, I thought it was a bit bad the way Ferguson took him off, but he just doesn't do a lot. Right, Everton. Oh, that's a terrible pass by Holgate. Everton had an opportunity there. Everton have had no shots on goal, says Dot. Would I take Tom Davies at United, Mr. Capel? No, not really. That Willock's not that good for Arsenal either, is he? He's quite reckless. Mahmood, I'll shout you out anyway. Keane is God. He just knocked off confidence, says T-Mill. Moise Keane to me just looks like a player that, yeah, maybe confidence, but his touch looks heavy. But you know, you're probably right. You know, it's about playing games and having confidence, isn't it, as a striker? And the difference between a player that's playing well and not can be dependent on confidence. It'll be interesting to see what he does long term now Ancelotti's in charge with the Italian connection. Free kick for Everton here. A chance for Arsenal to break. I don't think they've got many people, although Sidibe's done very well today, I think. Thank God I only watched second half. Dead game, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath. Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. 0-0. Yeah, you know what? We normally do pick good watch-alongs, but today I would have always done this as a watch-along because I think Everton-Arsenal was always... I actually fancied Everton to win it, but it's not been a great game. We are doing Leicester-Man City at 5:30. I think that can only be better than this, but I think it will be better than this. But this game has been disappointing. I think even if we got, that cliche, the game needs a goal. It's so true. It's so true. And I think a goal in this game would have made such a difference. Because it would have stretched it. But Sidibe with the chance to put a cross in. Cleared. And that's going to pretty much be it anyway. Richarlison and Chambers have just collided. So that injury will sort of end the game. And it's a shame because Everton were in a good position to put another good cross in here with Digne playing it into Keane. But yeah, Richarlison and Chambers just colliding with heads there. I hope when Corbyn steps down he doesn't join the Arsenal board, says Zayn Miasi. And Snores says, I think both teams will be happy with the draw. Who's joining us at 5:30 then for Leicester versus Man City? I'm going to get the mulled wine on. I'd like to give you a virtual glass of it, but that's impossible. But I will be having a few glasses of mulled wine at 5:30. So join me for that Christmas cracker. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. You're all very welcome. It doesn't matter who you support. That's how this channel works. So make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved. Lots and lots planned on this channel in 2020. It's been a cracking 2019. And 0-0 is the score. A few people saying told you so. As you were, isn't it? In relation to the Premier League, let me just tell you that would put Arsenal, as it stands, with 23 points. They would move up to 9th with 23 points. And Everton move up to 19 points, which puts them level with West Ham in 15th. So Arteta's going to take over an Arsenal team in 9th place. Probably be lower than that after today, actually. 23 points, and they will be... probably about 6 points off top 4, which they might be happy with. From a United point of view, that'll do. But thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed your company, if not the game. And we will be live tonight in about 3 hours' time, actually. 3 hours' time, we'll be back live again for Manchester City versus Leicester. Join me for the watch along there. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll speak to you in a couple of hours. And enjoy what you're going to do. I'm going to go and wrap a few presents before opening another one with you at 5:30. Speak to you in a bit.